everyone, welcome to a special review episode of the Games World Show. This week, I played I Am Setsuna, came out last week. Normally I would flail the box around of the game and be really excited about it, but I found this out when I went to go buy it. It's digital only. So, you can pick it up on the PlayStation Network. I think you can pick it up on PC as well, but I played on PlayStation 4. The box art was pretty. I wish I had a physical copy of it, but $40 for this digital-only game made by Tokyo RPG Factory, published by Square Enix, the former kings of the Japanese role-playing game. I Am Setsuna was really praised and promoted as being a callback to old Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, really using the Chrono Trigger battle system, which it very much does, and it's great. But the problem I have with calling it a throwback to these old JRPGs is it's like they made a list of everything people loved about old JRPGs from like Final Fantasy 1 through 9-ish, Chrono Trigger, stuff like that. They made a checklist of all these things that people loved, and then they just went down and checked those, and then they called it a game. You got a skeleton for a great JRPG, but they forgot to add the flesh that really makes this game, would have made this game really special. The characters are pretty boring. They have slight backstory that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's just kind of thrown in there for the sake of having some deep backstory. Their relations are weird and sometimes forced, including one character being the parent of title character Setsuna that you randomly find out in the middle of the story. And I didn't finish the story because I was so bored with it, but I don't know how that impacts the story at all of it being the father of Setsuna. It just, stuff like that really distracted from what made this game good, and that is strictly just the combat. But the thing about the combat is even that got old after a while. The grind seemed pointless, leveling up seemed to do very little, and it was more about finding materials to sell, to upgrade your one piece of equipment that everybody has, or to buy new abilities for them. The abilities I found myself using one for each character pretty much. Setsuna was curing people, Ender is the main character's name. He just kind of hit people over the head, and another dude hit people over the head. Like, that was it. I didn't use magic that much. I didn't use these support abilities. I was breezing through the game pretty simply. So the battle system, while fun at first, really lacks later on and doesn't feel as immersive as it should. Another thing that really bothered me was the fact that there's these different ways and like systems that, for example, the tech system where your abilities get stronger as you use them. It's random. They don't really seem to increase the power all that much, and that's tied in with like how you equip that like command or ability, and it's just very messy and confusing, and it doesn't really work very well. It didn't feel like I was growing stronger when this thing randomly happened. The other thing is the cooking. I made it through probably close to almost the end of the game. I still have no idea how to cook in that game. They say it's supposed to help. I don't know. I don't make food, I guess. So I just starve as I go on this giant adventure through this icy wilderness. The areas itself are really pretty at first, and then they start to become repetitive and just reskin versions of each other as you go through the game. And the same with the enemies. The enemies are kind of cool, but eventually fighting a ping one that was black and is now brown and calling it a stronger enemy gets really dull. It seems like I Am Setsuna is one of those games that, like, hey, great demo concept, but later on, it just kind of tapers out, and it's definitely not worth the $40 price point. $20 maybe. If you're a really big JRPG fan, definitely pick it up when it's on sale, but do not pay the full $40 for this. You don't get a physical copy, and the game just feels hollow and empty, and really lacks any sort of vibrance that really made old JRPGs great. The look, aesthetically, as far as graphics, they're fine. They look good. The PS4 handles it well. I didn't notice any frame rate or stuttering or anything like that, so that's probably the only thing I can say about the game as a whole that is universally positive, is it looks good. The trophies are pretty straightforward. You'll find yourself earning a lot really quickly at the beginning, and then it tapers off towards the end. There's a lot of hidden trophies, including some for cooking, so I guess I'll never see those because I don't know how to cook. But that's I Am Setsuna. Really mediocre, really had a lot of promise and a lot of hype before release. Didn't really pan out. If you haven't seen one of my review shows before, I don't give scores for games. I don't believe in numbered scores. I will give them for movies because that's just how we're adopting that system, but as somebody reviewing games for the show, I say no. So, buy it if you really like JRPGs. That's about all I can tell you. If not, skip it. You're not missing out on anything. go buy Bravely Default for the 3DS. Way better traditional JRPG. You're gonna have a lot more fun with it. So that's it. Next week we're gonna have a normal Gameswell show. I'll have 2 people here talking to me about random video game stuff. And the next review I'm gonna have up is probably No Man's Sky, which I'm really jazzed for. That's gonna be a really weird thing to review because it's so big. But anyway, yeah. So next week back to normal. Sorry it took so long to do another review. It's been since Uncharted 4. There's just a whole lot. We're kind of in a dry spell, and it's picking back up for the fall and into the winter season as far as games coming out. Really excited. A lot of really cool stuff coming out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of I Am Setsuna. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you not really care about it? Subscribe for more videos, as always. Go over to the Facebook page at Subtrendy and give us a like over there to keep up with all our news and videos that we post every day. And then the website, www.subtrendy.com, is a really cool website. Jessica did a great job designing it. And all of us post daily articles about all different kinds of stuff. And we are looking for contributors as well. So if you're interested in writing for Subtrendy, shoot us an email, subtrendy@gmail.com. Let us know if you want to write. We'll get back to you. We've got 2 great reviews by contributors up right now for Batman the Killing Joke and Star Trek Beyond, so go check those out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Today in Peek at You.
And that terrifying face.
Yeah.
I'm Maurice.
We were talking, you look basically like Harry Potter.
Yeah. But more insane.
I'm a chosen one!
Yeah.
And I am Damp Tampa.
What did you draw, Emily?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just started making shapes